Hello and welcome to FlipNClip. Today I'm going to explain a horror sci-fi movie, so don't forget to grab your snacks and enjoy the video. At the beginning of the movie, a shimmering mist has seemed on the site of an asteroid crash, and all life that it's touching is getting mixed and mutated. A woman named Lena is being interviewed by a gaggle of humans in hazmat suits. She went on an assignment and became long gone for 4 months. However, the interviewer says she and her team had meals for some weeks. Lena says she doesn't keep it in mind. The interviewer asks what befell her teammates Josie, Ventress and Shepard. She replies that Shepard died, but she doesn't recognize what came about to Josie and Ventress. The interviewer asks what it is that she does understand. Cut to numerous months earlier, Lena, a biologist, is teaching at her university. After class, her colleague Dan invites her to a barbecue. However, she says she has her very own plans. Dan says her husband has been gone for over a year and going to a fish fry will not be an insult to his memory. Lena nonetheless refuses. At home, Lena clutches a necklace together with her husband Kane's photo in it and cries as she reminisces about her time with him. They each served in the army, and this is how they met. She begins painting her bedroom and then Kane arrives. Lena cries in disbelief and hugs him. Lena asks Kane where he has been for a year and whether or not he turned into a covert mission. Kane doesn't have the answer to any of her questions. He appears disoriented. He says he simply recollects entering the house, seeing her face and spotting it. The photo of Kane's hand in the water is reflected. Kane drinks the water and says he doesn't feel too properly. Lena sees the glass is full of blood. Next, Kane is in an ambulance, spitting up blood with Lena next to him, when a bunch of motors with police sirens arrive and stop them. Men in full tactical tools pop out and take Kane into custody whilst additionally sedating Lena. Lena wakes up at a mystery facility called Southern Attain, where she is greeted with the aid of a psychologist named Ventress. Ventress asks Lena if Kane instructed her where he went, how he got again, or contacted her in any way. Before this, Lena says no to all of the questions and needs to recognize what's befell her husband. Ventress says he's severely unwell with damage to his inner organs. Lena says he was probably exposed to a few kinds of radiation and she can help him if they tell her in which he went for the mission. Ventress takes Lena to the balcony of the facility, and within the distance, she will see a big wall of some shimmering substance. Ventress tells her that the shimmer first regarded 3 years in the past, and at the time it turned simply around this one lighthouse on the coast. Since then it has been continuously increasing. They have dispatched human beings, drones and animals into it, however not anything that goes in ever comes out. Kane turned into a crew they dispatched in, and he is the best person who has ever popped out whilst gazing at an extremely unwell. Lena recollects the day earlier than Kane going to go away for this mission. They're each mendacity in mattress, and Lena asks him to offer her a touch about the name of the game challenge. Kane says they'll be inside the identical hemispheres, so at night they may examine the same stars. Lena makes fun of him for questioning that she just sits around looking at stars while he's long gone again. At the power, Lena is approached by a pleasant lady named Anya. Anya is a paramedic and she introduces Lena to Shepard, a geomorphologist, and Josie, a physicist. The 3 ladies tell Lena that all of them in conjunction with Ventress might be going into the shimmer. The preceding teams to enter were all in large part Navy, so now scientists are being dispatched in. They all talk about the sergeant who managed to make it out of the shimmer, and Lena does not mention that it's her husband. Lena says to Ventress that she wants to join the mission into the shimmer to examine what's inside it, and with any luck keep Kane whilst she returns being a scientist and a soldier. Lena is a precious asset, so Ventress agrees with the gift. The interviewer asks Lena why she volunteered for the undertaking, knowing that nearly anyone who went in did not pop out. She says she owed it to Kane. It is discovered that Lena had an affair with Dan while she was still with Kane, and that is what she method with the aid of owing him. Next, Lena wakes up in a camp. She steps out and sees that each one of the other ladies is wide awake too. They discuss that none of them keep in mind putting in place camp. They don't forget whatever they form after getting into the shimmer. However, the depletion in their meal delivery indicates that almost 3 days have passed. Since they entered, Josie informs the others that none in their communication or navigation equipment is running, no longer even a compass. Shepard says they can use the sun to navigate and head south in the direction of the seaside. They start moving and shortly they come to a half-sunken lake residence. The place is blanketed in plants and Lena notices something peculiar. All the flora are developed from equal branches, which means they're one plant, however they may be all one-of-a-kind species. She says that one plant is continuously mutating with each flower that grows. As Josie steps out of the lake residence, thing drags her back inside. The others rescue her and discover what attacked her turned into a massive alligator. The alligator charges towards them, but Lena shoots and kills it. Once more Lena notices mutations as she points out that the alligator has a tooth like a shark. She takes samples to investigate. Later all of them get into boats and begin traveling along the lake. Shepard and Lena discussed that every one of the ladies on the team has both misplaced someone near or is suffering from mental trauma of some kind. Because strong human beings might no longer volunteer for a suicide undertaking like this. They arrive at the preceding headquarters of the Southern Reach, which got swallowed through the shimmer, and determined to stay the night time there. Ventress finds a memory card with "Be Aware" on it that announces for those who comply. Josie inserts the reminiscence card in her camcorder and plays the pictures. The footage shows Kane and his crew. Kane cuts open the stomach of one of his crewmates and indicates that his intestines are shifting like worms. Anya freaks out and slams the camcorder close. She says the final team just went insane and the shifting intestines were a trick of the mild. They try to persuade her in any other case, but she is freaked out and refuses to trust them. Ventress is going to, in which Kane cuts open his crewmate and they locate the frame of the crewmate among a ton of weird mutated fungus. They decided to sleep inside the surveillance tower outdoors, taking turns staying up guard at night. Lena analyzes the samples she's taken at some stage in the day with a microscope. The cells in the sample are multiplying and the new child cells have a shimmer around them. Lena goes downstairs to alleviate Ventress of her shield duty. She asks Ventress why Kane volunteered for a suicide mission like this. Ventress does not say it directly, however she insinuates that Kane knew approximately Lena's affair with Dan. Just then they pay attention to a noise and Lena sees through her nighttime imaginative and prescient, tells that something has broken in through the fence. Shepard arrives asking about the noise and she is attacked and dragged away by way of an endure-like creature. Josie and Anya arrive and the girls chase after Shepard, however it's unnecessary in the dark of the night. The subsequent morning Anya is pissed and she says they ought to cross again. Ventress says their project is to attain the lighthouse and that isn't carried out. She says she is going forward and the rest are loose to come together with her or pass lower back. Anya gets mad at Lena for not backing her up in the argument. Lena says she consents to Anya going again, but the high-quality route to go again is using the coast and traveling alongside the shoreline inside the present. Lena admits to the interviewer that she lied and that she turned into simply seeking to get them to continue going towards the lighthouse. As they are strolling they spot certainly one of Shepard's boots and Lena is going to test if she's still alive. She finds Shepard's lifeless frame and returns to inform the organization. They keep taking walks and Lena notices that Anya is behaving oddly. Next, they come to an antique community that becomes evacuated, while the shimmer becomes increasingly determined to install camp there. They find plants that have the form of a human body and Josie comes up with a concept. She says that the radio waves of the verbal exchange and navigation system are not blocked. They're scrambled because the shimmer is a prism. It's refracting everything now and not simply light and radio waves but additionally the DNA of all residing things. This is why the flowers have grown in this manner. She says if they sequence the DNA of these plants they'll discover human hawk's genes in it. Ventress provides what Josie isn't always pronouncing directly, that their DNA is probably additionally refracting right now. At night time Lena analyzes a sample of her blood and reveals that Josie is right. Her cells have the identical shimmer around them that the samples from in advance did. Later in the night time, Lena wakes up to discover Anya pointing a gun at her. She hits Lena with the gun and knocks her out. Next Lena, Ventress and Josie are tied to chairs. Anya has found Lena's necklace with Kane's image in it. Anya needs to realize why Lena failed to mention her connection to Kane. Now she does not believe anything Lena says, since Lena is the only person who saw Shepard die. Anya thinks Lena has long gone loopy within the shimmer and is killing them. Then Anya breaks down and says she sees her fingerprints shifting just like the insides of the person. As Anya approaches to kill Lena, they listen to Shepard's voice out of doors and Anya is going to analyze it. After a while, a mutant undergoes inner when they speak. Shepard's voice comes out. The Endurer nearly eats Josie, but an injured Anya arrives and attracts the bear's interest. After killing Anya, the bear heads for Lena. However, Josie shoots it inside the head. Ventress packs up and leaves. The fact she wants to reach the lighthouse earlier than her mind and body completely crumble. The subsequent morning, Lena and Josie are sitting collectively when Lena notices Flora growing in Josie's arm. Josie says she does not desire to combat the shimmer like Lena does. She walks away with greater plants developing out of her and Lena follows her. However, she simply disappears. Next, Lena finally makes it to the coast wherein there are bushes fabricated from crystals and enters the lighthouse. Inside there's a hollow in which the asteroid crashed. There is also a burned human frame and a camera pointing instantly at it. Lena plays the video inside the digital camera and it shows Kane. He says he does not recognize who or what he is anymore. His flesh moves like liquid and his mind cannot bear it. He tells a person at the back of the cam to contact Lena after they get out and proceeds to spark off a phosphorus grenade in his hand. The person from the back of the cam is available in the front and strangely it's also Kane. Lena is freaking out and she hears Ventress inside the hole. She follows the voice and reveals her Ventress and says what they got here to discover is inside her. Now she doesn't recognize what this component wants or if it even wants anything. However, it's going to encompass the entirety of the globe and fall apart to its smallest particles, leading to their annihilation. Ventress then explodes and an abnormal ball of mild paperwork is in her location. The ball of light sucks in a drop of Lena's blood and her cells start multiplying. They multiply until a shimmering being is fashioned. Lena shoots at the being and runs out, but as she comes out the being is already there. The being appears to mirror. Lena attacks it and it returns, but then it falls properly along with her. She tries to run out but it stops her. She receives up and observes the being for a moment. She fingers the being a phosphorus grenade and as she touches it, it turns into her. She pulls the pin at the grenade and runs out. This time the being does not observe her. The being lit up on the fireplace crawls into the hole and burns the complete lighthouse down. As the lighthouse burns down, the shimmer disappears. The interviewer asks Lena if the alien changed into carbon-based totally and what it desired, but Lena does not have those solutions. She says the alien virtually mirrored her while she attacked it. It attacked her and while she stopped it did too. She does not assume it wanted something. It changed into just converting matters around it and growing something new. Lena drinks water and her image within the water is reflected much like Kane's was. Before the interviewer tells Lena that Kane healed as quickly as the shimmer disappeared, she goes to see him. She asks him if he is Kane and he says he would not assume so. He asks her if she's Lena and she doesn't have an answer. They both hug as they do. His eyes change color and so do hers and movie then comes to a close. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment below.